What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Swanky Disc Golf Show. Welcome back for those of you who are longtime listeners. I am your host, Luke. I am joined, as almost always, by my co-hosts, Josiah and Reed. And this week, a lot went down. History was made at the Open at Austin in several different ways. There have been some commentating woes we're going to talk about with the Disc Golf Network. We're going to play some games. We're going to have a super fun time today. So I hope you guys got some popcorn or you have a long drive ahead of you. We're gonna have a fun time. But first, how are you guys doing? How you doing, Reed? Did you have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend, Luke. Thank you for asking. It was great weather down here until today. It's freezing now for some reason. But the weather has been incredible, and it's gotten me outside. It's got me playing disc golf. The local leagues are starting up around me, and I actually played 9 holes of casual disc golf this weekend by myself, which is super out of the ordinary for me. I don't do that anymore, so that's really – it felt good. It felt like I wanted to be out there again, so that was nice. And then, playing leagues and having a good time. Didn't get to watch a ton of the Open at Austin, but I did catch some of the final round live, and it was electric. So, great weekend.
How about you, Josiah?
So I actually got to watch a little bit of the Open at Austin, so I'm feeling the disc golf itch now as the winter's coming to a close and my snowboard season ends. But it's been probably like a month since I've touched a disc golf disc.
Dude, it'd be that way around March. It's like, oh man,
it's been itching so. But I've been eating a lot of pizza, so that's been a plus in my life right now.
Solid,
dude. Heck yeah, that's awesome. It was a beautiful weekend down here in Georgia. Saturday specifically was like 75 degrees the entire day. It was absolutely beautiful. Big congratulations to my little sister got married over the weekend. So that's what I was doing. Was a lot of that. Congratulations to Haven and Hosa for getting married. That being said, I didn't play much disc golf. I haven't played a lot of disc golf as of late. I mean, we went to Charlotte a couple weekends ago. That was a blast. That was the most disc golf I've played in a while. I don't even have a PDGA number right now, I don't think. I do not think I have renewed, so we're going to have to get back on that. Our doubles league just started back up, though. The time change just happened. There's going to be some after-work rounds these days. It's looking good for disc golf. It really is. It's looking beautiful out there, but I'll have to get out there. I have been practicing every day, although I've been slacking. I have not been practicing for as long as I should or improving as much as I should. But I have practiced every day. I've been so lacking motivation and busy lately, but we're gonna get back out on the disc golf course very soon, and of course filming more and more content, guys. We have so much fun content coming down the pipe. If you guys are watching on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment down below throughout the podcast. We love to chat with you guys. If you're listening, you can be sure to hop over to YouTube and leave a comment on whatever happens. So we're going to talk about the Open at Austin a little bit. History has been made on 3 different fronts, is what I will say. The first front, we're going to talk about Ohn Scoggins. Ohn Scoggins, she's like 75 years old. Still going. She's not 75 years old. She's like 40, though. She's close to 40.
She's like in her 40s, like 43 or 44.
She's in her 40s. And still just rocking and rolling. So this tournament was a slow start for Kristen Tatar. First round, Kat Mertz shoots the hot round at 7 under, which is pretty darn good. Don't get me wrong. And Ohn had a slow start at 3 under. Round 2, Ohn comes in and shoots 13 under, doubling almost the hot round. And Kat Mertz shot 7 under again. So it's like Kat Mertz kind of doing everything right here, and Ohn Scoggins just basically wins the tournament. I'll show you round 3. Ohn Scoggins shoots 10 under. Kristen Tatar is in second place at 15, miss again and at 10. Ohn Scoggins almost won the entire tournament with the one round of 13 under disc golf. She could have just shot -1 -13, -2, and called it a day. But she went and shot the highest rated, it's overall tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Highest rated overall tournament in FPO history. Kristen Tatar didn't play super poorly. She had a rough second round where she shot 2 under, I believe, which is real rough for her. Shot 15 under, and we've been saying quite a few weeks in a row, like, we always talk about how Kristen Tatar doesn't really have to push herself to win. This is what we need to see. People like Owen Scoggins saying, you have to push yourself to win. You cannot coast by and win by 5 strokes, even though Kristen Tatar would have won by 5 strokes if Owen Scoggins did not just absolutely pop off. Did you guys get to watch any of the FPO? Do you have any thoughts, Josiah?
I did not get to watch much of it, to be honest. So
Shame
I
on
don't really
you.
have a I know, right? Well, it's just the timing of when it happens and when I work. So, but yeah, I just didn't get a whole lot of chance to watch it. I watched a little bit of round 1. So I watched like Cap Merch doing really well, and all of that. I feel really bad because they put Paige Pierce on like the feature card for round 1, and I was like, I wonder how she felt about that. Like how she felt about, because she won it last year, so like it made sense to put her on the feature card.
Yeah,
but
I did not look at her score until just now, and it is not pretty.
Yeah, no, and so that's why I'm like, I wonder how she felt about getting put on it in the first place. That's really the only thing that I thought about FPO is like, how does Paige Pierce feel about knowing that she's been struggling and then being put on feature card? Like, is that putting so much pressure on her that she's like, I wish I wasn't on feature card? Or is it like, no, this is my opportunity, I want that still? So I'm just curious to like thoughts like that. But yeah, other than that, Owen just popped off. It was incredible. So I didn't get to watch much of it.
I'm not going to lie, I didn't get to watch a lot of it either. I watched highlights and I studied the scores a little bit. But yeah, that is kind of weird. I didn't realize Paige, I didn't even see Paige on the first round feature card. And the first round she shot 10 over. And she finished the tournament at 20 over, or more than that. Yeah, 20 over. So she's, of course, still battling a severe injury. She had a pretty traumatic leg break, I believe it was. And she's coming off of that, and it's not looking pretty. It is not looking pretty at all. Reed, did you watch any FPO or have any thoughts on the situation at hand?
Yeah, I watched the first round kind of like everybody, it feels like, because, I don't know, Fridays in the morning, I always, get to watch a little bit of it. But I don't know. Paige, I think, was right where she wanted to be. I don't think she would have not wanted to be on feature card. The only reason that she would probably say that she shouldn't have been there if you asked her would be that she would want other players to be highlighted and not herself. I think that she's kind of in that stage right now. But she wasn't fazed by feature card. Let's keep in mind she's like a multi-time world champion, like got the most majors won. I mean, she's been there a time or two, and she's not fazed by feature cards. She's not fazed by cameras. She's just hurt. And so I think if you had asked her, she probably would have just said something like, yeah, probably should have been somebody else, but, it's not affecting her. So, like, I think that's fine from her perspective. But for the players that actually played well, Owen Scoggins, I only watched her shoot her, kind of middle of the pack round in round 1. So I didn't actually get to see her pop off on the second and third rounds. But crazy from her to, I know we're saying that Kristen, and we'll probably talk about this more. You guys will have your thoughts. I know we're saying Kristen didn't play as well as she could have. And I can't fact check this, but it was said on broadcast that this is the first time that we've had 2 FPO players shoot 1,000 rated golf in one tournament. Kristen averaged exactly 1,000 rated and lost by 10 strokes. Wait, 11 strokes? 11 strokes she lost by, and she averaged 1,000 rated golf. That is unbelievable. So I mean, this is what we have been waiting for. This is what we've been waiting for from the FPO, is like somebody to put together a whole tournament. We see from Kat Merch 2 rounds, which is, she's put together at least one other tournament. I think it was Jonesboro last year that she put together. But we have yet to see this kind of dominance, I think, from anybody in the FPO field except for Kristen. Yeah. So this is very healthy to see. And the only sad thing is that, like we said, Owen is older, and I just don't know if she can maintain this on the tour for the rest of the year. But wow.
That could also speak to the state of the FPO field. That they're getting tuned up by a 40-year-old. Granted, Kristen Tatar's 33 or 34 or something like that, and they're getting tuned up by her every week. So, I don't know. Just because in the history of sports, usually the younger you are, the more of an edge you have there. But typically, still an incredible performance. And, there's absolutely nothing you can take away from Owen Scoggins here. She played lights out, put together a whole tournament, just like you said. Loved to see it. History being made. Part 2 in the MPO division. We have our first, which kind of surprised me, but thinking about it, I guess, it checks out. We have our first ever Finnish Pro Tour event winner. Not Pro Tour event, but there's only a Elite Series now. First ever Elite Series winner from Finland. Niklas Antila, a thriller end of the tournament. Kyle Klein almost made history himself, shooting 12 under, 1087 round. He's in the clubhouse as the 3rd card, and he is leading the tournament. He was almost the first player ever to win a Elite Series event from the 3rd card. He's sitting in the clubhouse at 26 under. I can't remember how many holes Niklas had left because I watched Jomez coverage for the most part. But
something like 5 or 6.
I remember watching on 15 or 16, 4? And they had the score in. I think it was 4. It was 15. So he was on hole 15 or 16.
So they skipped 15 and 16. Okay. So he was on 14 when Kyle was tapping out. Yes. But he hadn't thrown his approach shot on 14.
I was watching this part live, and Niklas was teeing off on 14 while Kyle was playing 18.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. So basically, he's coming down hole 15, 16, knowing that Kyle Klein is in the clubhouse, 26 under par, winning the tournament. Comes up to hole 17, knowing that for sure. That's all we need to know. Comes up to hole 17, knowing that for sure he needs 2 birdies to win, 1 birdie to tie, and he birdies 17 in incredible fashion. And then he comes up to a 35-foot putt for birdie on 18, which is a difficult hole. Very tight, like wooded hole. It's dark. Watching the Jomez coverage, it's like pitch black sometimes when they cut to some of the cameras. And I think he had like 35-footer for birdie and absolutely nails it. No flutter in the stroke at all, heart of the chains. And it was so cool to see. I feel so bad for Kyle Klein, but not that bad because he played out of his mind, and I think he was pretty happy with the round. And you could, Niklas is known for being pretty stoic out on the course, pretty not emotional, kind of Calvin Heimberg-esque. And he just absolutely lost it, got super hyped, and was so excited. He started to cry in the post-round interview. It was a really, really cool moment. And shooting also a 1058 rated round. Really, really incredible stuff. Did you guys get to see any of that? Reed, what do you think?
Yeah, I got to watch it. Super cool to see him win. I mean, it gave me chills watching him react because, like you said, I mean, we don't get to see that side of him. Or, I mean, maybe he puts that out on YouTube or with his friends, but with tournaments, we see him very stoic for the most part. And I mean, he let it all out in the celebration and in the interview afterwards. So extremely huge win for him and for all of Europe, really, because he is Like, getting that first one off his back, he's been in contention so often.
Yes.
I just feel like it's kind of like AB, where if this can get unlocked in him, he could have a 3-4 win season. He's always there. It feels like the last, like, year he has been just around. And, guys, he is the oldest of those 3 Discmania dudes. He's 23 years old, and he's the oldest. He is
Funny.
He is the senior of those 3. This Discmania trio is dangerous, man.
They have wild potential. Josiah, did you get to watch it all?
I did watch basically the entire end. I think Kyle was on like hole 12 or no, hole 13 when I started watching. But yeah, incredible finish. And it was one of those things where, and this happened a lot last year too, but you're seeing Kyle put up this huge round from like way back, and you're seeing all these people on chase card and lead card that are all in contention. And it's like, there's like 6 holes left for some of these people, and you're like 8 or 10 people could win this. You have no idea what's going to happen, especially with wooded holes coming up, and hole 18 and 17 being so difficult. But you also had to see that like everybody was kind of rushing because of all the light, and so that
that's
also
kind of
played a factor where it's like, hey, we're going to have to try and speed this up, and that might just throw a wrench in your game, especially if you're a little bit more of a laid back or a slower player, and now you're trying to speed things up just so you can finish on time. And I'm sure they didn't, rush too much, but it's still like lingering in the back of your mind. But anyway, it was electric to watch the end of it, where you're like, I need to see every shot. I need to see Calvin's tee shot, and oh my God, Calvin went out of bounds. I need to see his approach shot, and you're like, there's just suspense, and there were so many people in so many different cards that you wanted to follow. That it was one of the first times I've been really happy with Disc Golf Network having the cameras in the right spots at the right times so that they could switch to things that you knew were like, no, I need to see what's going on. So I loved it. It was awesome. I felt like every shot I watched for the last like 20 minutes was like, oh my God, is he going to make it? Is he going to miss it? Like, what's going to happen type of deal. So super fun.
Absolutely. 100% agree. Really cool course. I enjoyed watching it. I like Open at Austin being an Elite Series event. I think it's a little sad that there's more Pro Tour events in Texas than there is the entire West Coast. But they're good events, and they've been very entertaining to watch so far. But part of it's just because of the competition. But the courses have been cool. I really like the Waco courses. I like this course. I don't know. I thought it was fun to watch. History being made part 3. Before I say that, I do want to again just touch on our very beloved players who are finishing very poorly as of late.
The best of the worst.
So Paul McBeth actually had a pretty good round comparatively. He finished T22, I believe, or T20 something, which is sad to say. That's pretty good compared to his past few events. So improvement out of Paul. But Isaac Robinson, T29. We also don't love to see that. We're gonna scroll down real far to see old Brody Smith here. Drew Gibson, T52, which is, I'm not picking him as my dog of the week anymore anytime soon anyways. I'm still scrolling.
You can stop scrolling.
Brody Smith, T97. Which I think he's talked on his podcasts about being frustrated with that. Just an interesting year where I feel like there were a few people we were expecting to start hot. And some of those people were people like Isaac Robinson, not necessarily Paul McBeth, but Drew Gibson's been out for a while. We thought coming back maybe he would start to do well. There are some others. Ezra Robinson's been doing very well. Huge shout out to Ezra for popping off.
That's true. He has been.
And then, yes, of course, Paige Pierce finishing down like T50th or something like that. Half of our players that we picked for our pick'ems for Open at Austin didn't even play, which is very sad. But
can we
anyways,
talk
history
briefly?
Sorry, go
Can
ahead.
we talk briefly about, before we leave the tournament in general, how like the chase cards applied so much pressure again, and it's just like we see it again and again. I feel like the final round, hot round in MPO is almost never on the lead card. It's almost always one of the chasers that is popping off, and this time we had third card Kyle Klein shoot 12 under and Cole Redallen on the same card shoot 10 under. We had Calvin shooting 10 under on chase, and nobody on lead card shot better than Niklas at 8 under. Am I right about that? I mean, Gannon shot 7.
No, yeah, you're correct. If
Matt
you look
Oram
at the top
only shot
4
5.
players of the final round of the final score, 3 of them were not on the lead card. I mean, Anthony Barella tied with Gannon, but
yeah.
yeah.
It's just crazy how we
keep
seeing that. Is it like a lead card jinx, or is there like pressure to maintain?
Although
I'm just not sure what's going on.
So I don't know,
won,
but there's insane pressure.
He won, but it felt like he had to catch Kyle. Like it was
true.
almost like he had reverted to chase in the last few holes, and then he popped off to win it. It definitely felt like he was on the attack at the end rather than on the defense. But like, I don't know, it's just a weird phenomenon we're seeing with like in the MPO. Whoever shoots the hot round at the end feels like they have a really good chance to win, no matter what you were shooting before. It's very interesting.
Did you guys see
sense.
Niklas on ESPN?
No.
Was that from this week?
No, I did not see that. Wait, what did he do?
I believe it was from this week. I saw it on Instagram. The Pro Tour shared it. He got an ace, but what I'm confused about is that it doesn't show up in his score. Hole 10. It was
round 1.
Round 1. Where are you? Round 1. That's why. Yes.
Where are you? Round 1 ace.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was the
like
hole
way down
after
there
he missed like an 8-foot putt the prior hole for double bogey.
I remember Nick
and then
was texting us in the chat about that.
Yeah. No.
That ace was on ESPN. Top 10 plays of like the day or something like that. One of their top 10s.
ESPN top 10.
I saw the Pro Tour shared it on Instagram if you want to go check it out.
Cool.
It's pretty
Number
funny.
6. We are getting disrespected, bro.
Yeah, it was number 6, and the lady
that's better.
goes, disc golf, what is that? And then she goes like, it's like the pickleball of golf.
What?
Kind of such an accurate statement when you think about it.
It's the pickleball
really
of golf.
And he was like, yeah, just don't start taking over golf courses like, pickleball does with tennis courts.
Little do they know that we only play on golf courses.
Yeah. But it's true. I really enjoy tennis, and pickleballers be out here just taking over the courts, man. They take over everything, though, dude. They take over basketball courts and like baseball fields. It's crazy.
That is a heinous comment. That is crazy. The pickleball that is crazy.
It's literally, that's what it is.
Yeah, but
Not really.
the pickleball is like
just funny.
Tennis for like the geriatric, and disc golf is not for the geriatric. In fact, the geriatrics play golf, so I don't want to hear about this.
I don't know.
Next question.
Well, it's like
you should see some of the disc golfers I see.
It's a play
Owens
off
Scoggins coming
of
off of the highest rated
well-established sport, I feel like, is what they're saying. Like, I mean,
makes
pickleball
sense.
and paddle and all these other sports kind of play it off of tennis, which maybe originated from another sport. I don't know. Disc golf plays off of golf. Whatever. It's a funny statement.
It is. That's true.
But he made ESPN, so I'm sure he doesn't care. I mean, what a special week. I can't imagine the feeling that he is having right now. Win on the Pro Tour, first Finnish player. I'm sure people in his country are celebrating. And you made ESPN, got an ace. That is like, gosh, that's got to be the cleanest, just prettiest tournament wrap-up ever. Super excited for him. History being made, part 3, is Reed, for the first time in his career, took down a Pick'ems win.
Let's go.
How do you feel, Reed?
I texted the guys as soon as the tournament was over. in sheer elation, my math was so wrong. I had to text him like 4 different times clarifying the math, but it did end up that I won by several points.
Several points.
Thank you so much to Nathan Sexton for coming through. And
it really came down to Nathan Sexton beating out Paul Ulibarri. Was pretty much the big cheese there.
Now
Paul
I will
T44 and Nate Sexton T37. So it's pretty close there.
I will accept my trophy and then move that we change this system because the FPO players, especially the FPO dogs, just not playing. I'm not sure what's going on. Sai Ananda and Jessica Weiss both drop. Last week we had Alexis Manahano drop.
Unless we're just like really missing some obvious posts from people DNFing.
There's no post.
Like,
I follow Jessica Weiss. She didn't post, and she had a tee time. So like, but she's not even listed as a DNF
we talked about Sai Ananda.
anymore.
This was her best tournament last year. You would think that this is the one she would really want to play in. But she also was a no-show. So
I do not know what's going on.
We'll have to figure out some sort of new situation here because all 3 of us had players not play. I don't know why Gavin Babcock didn't play.
No, Gavin. We dropped Gavin's score because
it
was his worst finisher.
Okay. Actually, Isaac was the worst.
Weren't they both T29? Didn't they tie?
Yeah, so why'd you drop Gavin and not Isaac?
Because we like Isaac more.
Isaac for good luck. I don't know.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is my MPO dog made it and my MPO winner did not, so he had to get dropped.
That's tough.
That's tough.
Really
yeah,
tough.
No. Isaac and Gavin tied. That's why his score wasn't listed.
Yeah, I had decent picks. I picked AB and Kristen's an automatic top 3, like we said. But AB finished 4th again. AB's on fire. AB might be the Calvin Heimberg of this year. Who knows?
Dude, AB
but
was a
Calvin Heimberg
brave
also
pick
finished
for you.
3rd.
And
so
he came
could
through.
Just be
or
himself.
Gannon. Gannon also is finished
Gannon also
4th.
T4. So Gannon and Anthony Barella are off to a pretty wild start. And I just want to say again, Gannon did not finish it out down the stretch here, but he just looks so professional. I don't know what it is. He looks so composed out on the course. I don't know if I'm crazy, but he looks like a new player this year.
I have to say that we saw something from Gannon this week that we didn't see last year, and it was he had not a great round 1, and he stayed in the tournament. He didn't check out.
Yes.
And last year he was checking out and finishing like mid-20s if he didn't have a good round 1.
Yeah. Don't know what happened this offseason, but Gannon is looking like a more mature player.
What do you mean you don't know what happened? We all know what happened.
I mean, we know he went to Discmania.
There was a very big change that happened.
That's true. But, I mean, yeah, it definitely played a part in his look because he just dresses way better now, too. Discmania players and Discraft players are the only players that know how to dress. I don't know why. Don't know why that is. But it is what it is.
If I'm Discmania, I'm higher. My next hire is like someone like Disc Golf Strong or like some sort of physical therapist for these guys to keep them healthy because we need to elongate these dudes' careers. We can't have another Eagle situation where a guy that's at the top of his game, at the top of the disc golf scene, gets injured at like 24 and disappears for 3 years. We need these guys to stay strong. So Discmania, get yourself a staff therapist, a staff PT person, and let's keep these guys good, okay?
No, I agree. Who do you guys think is looking like the strongest team this year? It's kind of weird to call them teams, but kind of is.
It's not even close.
It's not even close. Yeah.
It's not even close. It's
Discraft
Discmania by a landslide. No, Discraft is second.
Definitely second.
But it's Discmania is like by a landslide over Discraft, and then Discraft is a landslide above everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's not the usual suspects with Discraft. It's crazy.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's AB and Gossage.
And Ellis, too.
And Corey Ellis has been popping off
Chris
so far.
Dickerson, T9 today, this week.
Yep, respectable.
See, that's funny because I didn't hear that name at all, and I'm shocked that I didn't hear that name pop up.
And Simon Lizotte T16 is very respectable. Aaron Gossage T16. So MVP has Simon still, but it seems like Discmania has the winners. Like Discmania is gonna win every tournament. But
at this rate, yeah,
Discraft is gonna have a ton of top 10 players every tournament. They're gonna have Barella, probably Corey Ellis and Aaron Gossage, Chris Dickerson here and there, top 10 almost every tournament.
It's true.
They're guaranteed a couple. And then Innova has Calvin Heiberg.
And that's going to be good for something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Discmania is edging it out a little bit. Speaking of tournaments and just everything going on, commentators. We've heard a lot of talk lately. We've heard the Foundation podcasts talk about them. We've heard fans talk about them a lot. But people are starting to grow tired of the Disc Golf Pro Tour, specifically, Disc Golf Network commentary. I have resorted, it's partially my own time and being busy and things like that, but I have pretty much resorted to watching more Jomez coverage than live coverage, which I don't prefer. I prefer live coverage, but I'm not mad about it because when I watch Jomez Pro coverage, it's just so much better. The commentating from Big Germ and Paul Ulibarri and Nate Sexton, just so much better. The graphics are so much better. Obviously post-produced, that's how it's going to be. But the commentary in and of itself is also just way better. So what did you guys think about the commentary from live coverage? What needs to change? What's got to happen for the Disc Golf Network to turn things around? What's wrong in the first place? You guys can enlighten our viewers maybe a little bit. What do you think, Reed?
I think maybe I have spoken too much on this already, so I won't rail against the machine on this. Ian and Philo have got to go, in my opinion. I think if they continue to be the mainstay duo, then this is like a friendship league. I mean, it's just that. I mean, I don't understand why they are back and as the main commentary duo when we have talents like Nate Sexton there every single week. He's always there. He's playing. He's doing Jomez. Let's pay the man. Let's get out. Coverage. Let's get out the checkbook and pay the man. And let's. Oh yeah. Well, he needs to be not playing and in the booth. That's a great point. I don't know why I even thought about that. But
he's playing.
But we have freaking Brian Earhart on the course every week. He's there. He's insane. Like, he's so much better than what we are dealing with Ian and Philo. Like, we have the talent there. They're around. We just need to pay them and get them in the booth. And I'm so sick of Ian and Philo, man. I'm sure they're great people, but we've been down this road. I don't know what we're doing here. So, get Brian in the booth.
And it's funny because, like, honestly, like, put Brian and Terry together, Like,
dude,
I
yes.
feel like
Where's Terry?
And there are plenty of sports that have the same commentary team week in and week out. It's not like it's normal to be like, hey, Sunday Night Football next week is going to have completely two different people. And then the week after that, it's going to be a new group. And then we're going to go back to the original one. And we're just going to rotate back between one main group and then a side group, like we're giving them a break. They're getting paid to do this. And I don't know what 10-year contracts they're on right now. That must be a bag for them to be staying. But, I don't get it. They have talented people, and it just feels like they choose to use the wrong people. I just that's what I think that bugs me the most. And there's clearly just some they've been in the sport for a really long time, and so they know the game and they know the people that are in charge. And so there's definitely some, I'm just gonna, for lack of a better term, some favoritism going on.
It's friendship cheese is what it is. It's friendship cheese.
Yes. And it's just annoying because I think the sport has gotten to a point where it needs to go beyond, like, hey, you're a friend and I'm going to do this to keep you in the sport and give you a job. because you can't make it on the tour anymore. But like, let's find a way to move past that. They can't seem to do that. So, that's all I have to say. Like,
yeah, I think Philo and Ian even have their individual moments sometimes, but their chemistry is really bad to me. They do not play off of each other well. They're probably really good friends in real life, potentially. Like, I'm telling you, if you were to watch one round, not knowing what disc golf was or anything, you would probably say those people don't have just met for the first time. They have such horrible chemistry. I don't know what it is. We were just talking about how Philo was giving a baseball analogy with Niklas coming down the stretch, and he was saying like, yeah, like, you know, bottom of the ninth or whatever, and Ian was like, yeah, full count, and Philo was like, no, not really, not like that, you know. And it's like, okay, you guys are just not on board with each other at all,
dude. It's so bad. We all have a friend like that like won't play ball, or it's just weird. Like, I feel like Philo couldn't have chemistry with anybody. He has to get the last word in that. Like, he sets up the analogy, and then no matter what Ian said, he was gonna like do his own thing with the analogy. It's like, why are you doing that? Yeah, like, have at least try to have chemistry with him. Like, in Ian's defense, I genuinely don't think Philo would have chemistry with anybody up there. Like, it's really bad.
Yeah, I want to stress, they're great people. They seem super fun and super funny.
Oh, yeah.
But this is like, we're just looking at a professional standpoint of watching commentary. If I've watched basketball games where I've said these commentators are not very good. If you're watching a local network, maybe you're in a different state, you're watching that state play your team, and you're like, I really miss my team's commentators because they're so much better. That's what it feels like sometimes. I'm like, I miss Paul and Germ and Nate Sexton because they're just so much better. And that's all it is. It's not personal at all. But they need their NBA on TNT guys. You know, they need the, like, Shaq and Charles Barkley, who have just incredible, and Kenny Smith, who have, you guys might not know who that. I know you guys do, but our viewers might not know who that is. But they have such incredible chemistry. They're mostly funny people, and they're more personalities, but they commentate the NBA games on TNT. They have such incredible chemistry that it almost doesn't even matter if they're being serious or not. I mean, obviously they know the sport like no other people do in the world, but their chemistry is so good. So I think that's part of it. You need some people who have chemistry and understand when to talk, when not to talk, when the other person is giving color commentary and letting them go off, letting them cook a little bit, and then they stop, and then you start, or giving play-by-play, same thing. There's none of that. We don't see any of that. It feels like they've never had any training, and maybe they have. It feels like they haven't. This is just perception, and I feel like there is a professionalism where you should maybe give them some training. Take them to I think I've literally said this before on a podcast. Take them to a PGA Tour event. Let them like shadow some some commentators for a while. Something, I don't know. But a lot of people are calling for Ian and Philo. I hate saying that because I don't want to be that guy, but people are calling for Ian and Philo specifically to go. And maybe there's a different place for them. Maybe they're like, they know a lot about disc golf. Maybe there's a different place for them. Maybe they should just switch. Put Philo on the ground where he has to kind of whisper and he can only say things every now and then. But even going back to the USDGC commentary, it was so bad. Oh, it was so bad when they had Ken Climo in the booth. Ken was doing a decent job, and Philo and Ian were just ruining it.
Ken was doing a great job. I mean,
it was bad,
he was carrying the team.
Dude, Sexton needs to retire, and we'll just put Sexton and Ken Climo together.
Yeah, for real.
And that'll be great, too.
Dude, that would be a GOAT duo. Or what you said about Terry and Brian is probably the best duo that we could have right now, presuming that Nate won't play. I forgot forgot about Nate. We were blessed with him so much last year because he just wasn't playing as often.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Another thing that I'll briefly mention. One thing, I'm convinced Terry could do a better job solo. And that's saying something. That's bad.
Interesting.
When you could legitimate. I mean, I've watched the man provide a better experience solo. So that's rough. But another thing is
he just seems socially awkward. I feel like is all it comes down to. I was gonna say a lot of people like Terry. I don't always love his commentary. Thinking about it, I think I only don't like it when he's with another person because it's kind of awkward. It's just awkward interactions. But sorry, continue.
He does make awkward jokes.
That's why he'd be great with Brian. Brian gets him.
That's true.
But
that's true.
That's true.
But the other thing that I want to see more of from the tour, and I guess I should say less of, is like Brian Earhart when he's on course correspondent. He's friends with all of those guys. Like, we have to keep in mind that he just came off the tour. He knows every single player. He's really good friends with a lot of them. But he keeps it very professional with the on-course interviews and with everything that he's doing with the correspondence, very professional. If he asks a, like, more out-of-left-field question, he keeps it to one or he keeps it to the end of the interview. It's very short. This week we got Nate Perkins as the on-course correspondent, and he started out his interview round one with Paige Pierce, asking her. He said verbatim, "Paige, I could ask you something disc golf related here, but we talk disc golf all the time. Well, I know you've been going to some concerts lately. What kind of music have you been checking out?" Are we dead serious right now? This is a live broadcast. I was mind blown. I was like, yeah, Nate, maybe you talked to her about disc golf, but I've never heard you guys speak to each other before. So why don't you ask her a disc golf related question on your Disc Golf Network broadcast? I was absolutely mind blown. Yeah. And we got to cut that out, bro. That has got to stop.
That's pretty bad. Yeah. There's sometimes, well, no, I don't know. There's maybe sometimes space for those that's something you see at like a celebrity game or an all-star event where it doesn't matter and you're just kind of chatting. You would never see that on any other sports network. And I mean, didn't they I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into the drama because I know
smart
COVID years like Nate and Nate like lived together or something like that. They traveled together. They were like super close friends.
They're great friends. Yeah. I get it. They're great friends. But like I just said with Brian, he's like, great friends with all of them too. Like, well, you guys can be great friends after the round. Ask a decent question.
That's true.
Yeah. Like, it almost comes off as like he did not plan his questions coming into the day. He planned them when he got there or like just before the conversation. And he's like, this would be funny if I said, been just going. Or maybe because he's friends with her, he knew she went to a concert recently. Either way. Not great. Not a great situation. And I feel like he does that all the time.
Dude.
I remember a very specific situation where he was like, what's your favorite sauce with fries? And I remember
he's always
that
so
very
casual. Specific
question because it was I'm pretty sure it was like on the course. And I was like, what? Why? Okay. We're going to move on from that.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys got to stop me. Stop me. Get me off this train.
Also, I will. Yeah. I'm gonna say one more thing on this, because I think it's funny. But low key, who would have a great career in commentating when he does retire? Gannon Burr actually does like interviews really well. I don't know if he comes up with the questions or something, but like whenever they do let him like do an in-person interview, he'll like ask legitimate questions very professionally. And so I don't know if they're like, here's a list of questions, feel free to ask him, or if he comes up with them. But he does a really good job whenever they let him do it.
Didn't he cast one of the rounds of the Memorial with Terry?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I remember him doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, he does a good job with all of that. So
he knows the sport super well. He knows he knows a lot.
But for as goofy as a personality he is, he can also be super professional when he needs to be. And that's like what you want in a commentator, is someone who can have a personality 100%. But also do it professionally.
Our NBA on TNT guys are going to be Alden Harris, Gannon Burr, Gavin Babcock, and like Isaac
Yes,
Robinson
dude.
20 years from now.
Dude, they're just gonna
gonna
put
be
together
amazing.
a media company for disc golf when they retire.
Gannon
Yeah,
Burr
and
is
they're-
Charles Barkley.
Yeah, yes, 100%. And that would make Alden Shaq, I guess. But they're gonna be hilarious together, and it's gonna
So
be
good.
great. Look forward to that to that
That's a good
time.
one.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like the commentary? Do you think we need some new casters or what? Do we need Nate Sexton? I do. I wish that Germ and Yuli and Sexton weren't playing so that they could cast. But sometimes watching them play is really special. So I don't know.
That's true.
A few years from now, maybe they'll retire. We're gonna play a game to end the show this week. We don't typically do pick'ems on. I should not probably just skip over that the U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championship is coming up. It's also in Texas. There you go. We don't really do pick'ems for when it's MPO only or FPO only because there's not as many options. Like we usually have 4, and this time we'd only have 2, and it's kind of weird. And good, if Kristen Tatar's there, she's just gonna win. Maybe Owen Scoggins will win though. You never know. Is Kristen Tatar even signed? Oh, there's different like pools. It looks like. Am I crazy? No.
Surely she's
there's
playing.
different
She's
pools.
got to defend her Grand Slam.
The PDGA Live website's just so bad. So.
Well, that's
Yeah,
not
there
new.
she is. She's she is playing. So, United States Women's Disc Golf Championships is coming up. Round Rock, Texas. I'm not familiar with these courses at all, unless they're just the same as some other ones. Are we familiar with Round Rock, Texas?
I am not.
Or am I losing my mind? Yeah, not.
But
overly
remember that
familiar,
this
so
is not even a real major. So
It's not even. What is it then? What is
throw
this
pink
freaking
is the
event?
real U.S. women's. Say it with
Oh,
me.
Yes, everybody knows that throw pink is like more prestigious, but we have the United States Women's Disc Golf Championships, and it is technically the PDGA major of the year for the women. So it's exciting. Do you guys have any predictions outside of Kristen Tatar or maybe some hot takes outside of her own Scoggins coming in first and second?
Hot take: Haley King wins.
Not
Not a super hot take, but
a semi. I mean, it's a warm take at least.
That is flaming hot in my mind. But
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think that what we can take from this week is that Owen has pop-off potential. Missy Gannon's consistent as ever. She's going to take at least one event this year, but probably only one. And Kristen's going to continue to take 2 out of every 3 events moving forward. And Henna and Evelina probably get 1 between them. They seem like they're
one more.
Yeah, one more. I think that we get one more where they actually beat Kristen. They're having their moments. I like the way that Evelina's playing. Obviously, she didn't play super well down the stretch, but I think that we actually see some improvement from them this year. And I know Evelina already won, but it didn't count because Kristen wasn't there. So that's tough for her, I guess. But she's gonna have to beat Kristen to change my mind.
I always reference
I
A
think-
Knight's Tale when that happens. Somebody wins and they're not there. Yeah.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. It's a strong field. There's a lot of players, which I like to see. It's just hard. Yeah. Kristen Tatar's probably going to win. It's a big challenge to the FPO field.
Is it a 4-round event?
Every event, though. It is a 4-round event. Yeah, there's no way.
You can go ahead and book Kristen.
There's absolutely no shot. But you never know.
I mean, it was
so
an
that's the
11-stroke lead for Owen. If this had been a 4-round event, I still think Kristen had a shot.
Could have joked it, yeah.
I mean, it gets that bad in the FPO. So let's dial it in, everybody. 4 rounds. Let's do this.
Yeah, we'll see how they do. If Haley King wins, big points to Josiah.
True. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. And then the next Pro Tour event, combined event, I believe, is Texas States. We talked about that, right? Texas States is the next combined Pro Tour event, which, again, that will be 4 events if you include United States Women Disc Golf Championships, whatever, which is a major. It's not even, I don't know, it's so complicated with the Pro Tour. 4 events as opposed to a total of 3 events, basically, on the entire West Coast in Texas. Absolutely wild. That's the last time I'll say that. Just throwing it out there
today
as a wild fact. We're going to play a game before we go.
Oh, nice.
This is a new kind of game. And the goal, a lot of people play this game using random words, or there's like categories where you have to try and say the same word as somebody else. I'm going to do this with Reed and Josiah. You guys both are going to have to say the same disc name. We'll give you 5 tries to start off. That might be too easy, but we're going to give you 5 tries. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1. Both of you have to just say a random disc. And then after that, I'm going to, say you say some, random mid-range, you say some random
You're just
driver.
trying to merge to the same one.
Okay. To the same one.
Cool.
It's a classic
We can
game.
do this, Josiah. We can do it.
We're going to do it disc golf style.
I got it. I'm ready.
So are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I am ready.
3, 2, 1.
Raptor.
Heat. Oh, my gosh. That's crazy. Okay.
Raptor and Heat. There was a pretty big delay there. Do you guys know when you're going, or did I just have a delay in the
In
chat?
my mind, in my audio, we said it at the exact same time.
Okay.
Oh,
then
really?
Yeah, we're good.
In mine, there was like a 2-second delay
There was
for
a
Reed.
2-second delay for Reed.
Oh, really? Oh,
I was
shoot.
like, Reed,
But
how
hey,
did you
if
not just say Raptor?
That's okay. I think it'll work. So because if there's
if Reed
that big
has
of a
it,
delay, so
it's fine.
I was
let's try.
I was mind blown. I was wondering why y'all weren't mind blown. Okay.
That's like, Reed, you could have said Raptor.
Reed, you just heard him say Raptor.
Okay.
I swear I did it. Okay, let's
I'm
go.
gonna up the
Go next.
ante, and if you guys win, since we usually give away prizes, which by the way, Reed just won an extra Dreamweaver from Gesture Discs for winning his pick'ems. What I have here are 2 prototype discs from Ocean Discs. They're discs made out of ocean waste, and these putters are called the Sea Turtle. Sea Turtles. And they're really cool. They feel pretty good for ocean waste. They feel like just a tiny bit cheapy, but they also have a kind of tacky feel to them, which is hard to pull off, and it's cool. It also has a spot on the back that says, "If lost, please return to owner," and it has a place to put phone number on it. It says phone number.
Oh, that's super sick.
It's kind of cool.
That's super cool.
Which I don't like putting my phone number on the disc because I think it looks weird, but now there's a place for it. So it looks weird if there's no phone number there. That's cool. Shout out to Ocean Discs. We'll be reviewing these soon on our Swanky Disc Reviews channel. If you guys can get these 5, I will let you guys both take one of the Sea Turtles.
All right, deal.
So we have Raptor and Heat. Attempt number 2. 3, 2, 1.
Undertaker.
I went the wrong way.
Oh, you guys are getting closer together.
Wait.
No, I feel like we're further apart. I feel like we're further apart.
No. I think we're closer, but we're not allowed to repeat discs. So.
Then Raptor and Heat?
No. I thought he said yeet.
Oh, no. He said Heat, didn't he?
I said
Or did you say
Heat.
yeet?
I said H-E-A-T.
Oh, I thought you said yeet.
You guys both just took literally one step closer. Kind of. All right, 3.
Wait. Okay. I'm ready.
You can't do that. It's not part
I'm
of the
ready.
game.
I'm ready.
3,
I'm ready.
2, 1.
Passion.
Captain's Raptor.
Okay.
Captain's
All right. That's
Raptor
fine. That's
and
fine. I know where to go
Passion.
next.
I think you
Let's
have
go.
2 more chances
Hang
or
on.
just 1?
We
Hang
have
on.
2 more. We have 2 more.
Okay. You have 2 more.
Wait. You said you know where to go next?
Yeah, you've got.
You don't get
said,
all this time and talking and stuff. That's not how the game works.
All right, fine.
3, 2, 1.
Vulture.
Oh, no.
How are we doing this?
That was pretty close. You both went pretty obscure there.
Wait, Vulture and Stalker?
One last shot.
Oh, dude.
Vulture.
We're
like,
toast here.
I don't know anymore.
I think we've just done every single Discraft fairway driver.
All right, here we go. 3.
All right. You know what to do.
No,
1.
I don't know. Avenger SS. Fuck.
It is harder than it looks. It is harder.
Oh my gosh. We were all over the place there.
Well, it's just honestly, I totally forgot about Vulture. I couldn't remember. I'm just Discraft fairway drivers, and I'm like, I don't know anymore.
Dude, I think
Looks
if you
like
had heard me say Heat, we get it on the second go, because Heat is far
It's very
understable,
possible, yeah.
and Raptor was far overstable, and Undertaker's right in the middle. I thought we were getting that for sure.
Well, yeah, I thought you said Yeet, and I was like, I'm willing to bet that he comes over to Discraft.
Yeah.
So let me just name
that's
another
scuffed us.
Discraft
Yeah, that's awkward.
fairway.
That's
That
awkward.
scuffed us
Looks
for
like I'm
sure.
going to be keeping the Sea Turtles. But
Fair enough. That was fun.
thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Leave us a comment down below. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Somehow, some way, maybe. If you decide to come back, we would love that. But we'll see you in the next one. Stay swanky.